Hi guys, I'm Rebecca. Welcome to a basic, introductory mat class, which is also designed to be safe for those living with low bone density, so osteoporosis, osteopenia. And today's class is really about posture. We're just going to do a few quick exercises to bring our awareness to lengthening and extending our spine and strengthening the muscles between the shoulder blades, around the rib cage, and mid sort of upper back area. You can add in one small hand weight if you have it, or a soup can, something to add resistance, but you certainly will get some good work even if you don't have anything. And we're going to start by warming up on our hands and knees. So just coming to be on your mat with the hands underneath the shoulders, the knees under the hips. Have the fingers spread. A nice foundation in the hands helps you to feel and activate and be strong around the shoulders. So if you can spread the fingers, reach the thumbs out from the sides, have as much contact through the hands as you can. Take a nice breath in, and this is just going to be our little shoulder push-up, I call it. So as you breathe in, there's no change in the alignment of your spine. Your spine is just nice and long and straight. And as you breathe in, you press the chest away from the mat. You try to feel wide between your shoulder blades. And as you breathe out, you're allowing the spine to sink down between the shoulder blades. You're drawing the shoulder blades in towards each other. And then breathe in to reverse it again. And exhale. The elbows stay nice and straight. They don't have to be locked, but they don't actively bend. And this is a little movement, but it is definitely some good work around the shoulder blades. You might feel it in the chest a little bit, the armpit area. And just challenge yourself to feel the spine staying nice and straight. So our tendency as we push up is to curve the spine, but you'd like not to do that. Or to let the head come out of alignment. So just really picture that head and neck as an extension of the rest of the spine. Perfect. And then hold this one 3/4 of the way, pressed up. And you're going to press into your left arm. And if you have the weight, if you're adding the weight, then you're going to hold it in the right arm. And you're going to reach back to have that right arm just on the mat with the palm facing back towards your knee. From here, take a nice breath in, and without allowing anything else to shift, you're going to lift that weight or hand just up to your hip or a little bit above and release it down. And we're going to try 8 of these. Right? It's a little bit harder than it looks. And you're trying to stay wide through your chest, nice and still in your waist and your pelvis. And you'll feel this work in the back of the arm, the back of the shoulder, around the shoulder blade. Add a little chin tuck if you tend to poke the chin forward. How many more are we doing? Nobody's counting. Let's do 2. I think that was 6. 2. And 1. Beautiful. Release it. Just rock that back because it is a lot of work for the wrists. And then come forward, pressing into your right hand, nice and strong, nice and level across the chest. The left arm the weight is just back near your knee where you can keep the elbow straight. And on your out breath, lifting from the shoulder and lower it down. Lift from the shoulder and lower it down. Good. And if you have something that you want to place on the small of your back for a little bit of feedback, like we have toning balls in the live classes that we often put there for feedback, or if you have like a small ball at home or an orange or a grapefruit, it can let you know that you're keeping that pelvis nice and still. This is probably our last one, eh? Perfect. And release. Leave the hands where they are and then rock the hips back towards the heels. just keeping that spine nice and long, and you can wiggle the fingertips forward just to feel a little stretch in those shoulders. And then you can give the wrists a little bit of a roll. Good. Just to work them out. Good. We're going to do one more exercise on our hands. Perfect. And it's a little combination. So take a nice breath in. Your idea is at the center of you, staying over the center of your mat. If you had a little string hanging down from your tummy button, it would stay nice and still. Take a nice breath in. And we're going to reach the right arm forward without moving anything. We're going to sweep it out to the side. Lower it down. And then we're going to take the right knee and lift it out to the side. Nothing has moved through the spine. Let's do that with the left. Left arm reaches forward, out to the side. Lower it down. And then left knee out to the side. Good. If you wanted to add the weight, that's a lot of work. But if you're used to doing some upper body work, it's the same thing with the weight. Right arm out to the side. Or right leg out to the side, sorry. Okay. Don't worry about adding in the weight if you have any issues with the shoulders, because you still get a lot of good postural work without it, right? We're going to try to do 2 more on each side. So you reach forward with the right arm, nothing moves through the waist. Out to the side, so you're open across the chest, lower it down. Right knee opens out to the side and the pelvis stays nice and level. Lower it down. Left arm, out to the side. Lower it down. Left knee, out to the side. 1 more each side. So draw in with the belly before you reach the arm forward. Stay strong in the shoulder that's on the mat. Reach the arm out to the side. Lower it down. Right knee, out to the side. Lower it down. Reach forward with the left arm for your last one. Try to keep the shoulder away from the ear. The collarbone's nice and wide. Left knee out to the side. Beautiful. And last time, rock it back into that well-deserved shell stretch or child's pose. You can roll the wrists, whatever feels good after that. You'll be done with your weight, so you can set that off to the side. And from there, we're just going to come down onto our belly. Just rest your forehead on the back of your hands. And I just want you to make yourself relaxed in the hips today. So if you're comfortable with the feet together, great. But if that's a little tight in the low back, you don't love that position, then just put the feet a little bit wide out towards the edges of your mat, with the toes a little bit turned out. And if that relaxes your hips, makes the low back a little happier, then great. Take a nice breath in. And I just want you to practice stabilizing in the low back for this series. So on your out breath, you're going to draw in with the belly. I want you to imagine like you're trying to pull the skin of your tummy away from your leggings or away from your mat. Not so much that you can't breathe, but just so that you can hold that low back nice and still with the strength in the abdominals. Release and breathe in. And then exhale to do it again. Draw in with the low belly. Not to hold your breath, but just to be strong and support the low back. Breathe in, relax. On your next one, starting that same way. So exhale. Draw in with the belly. Keep the low back nice and still. And then lift the face and the throat and a little bit of the breastbone. Your eyes are still looking down at your hands, and then lower everything back down. Nice breath in when you're down, and exhale to do it again. And I'd like you to think about getting tall out of the top of your head as opposed to lifting very high. So start with that out breath and the drawing of the belly. And then as you float up with the face and the throat, a little bit of the breastbone. Just think about like if someone had a string at the top of your head, they're pulling it that way and they're giving you height. Good. Perfect. Good. And then hold this one here. Take the hands and stretch them directly out from your shoulders, right out to your sides. And I want you to really be wide here, right? You don't have to be high. You could be here, whatever's comfy, but your goal is that you don't move. Once you're at your position with your head and your neck and your throat, you don't twist and you don't drop down. So breath in to prepare. You're going to draw in with the belly a little more. Be strong, and then lift the right arm. Think about lifting that upper arm. Think about that being the movement. Put it back down. Switch and do the left. And down. So just at your own pace, making sure you feel that drawing of the abdominals. The eyes are still gazing down. And you want to feel like you're working between the shoulder blades. This is your extension of your spine and the strength of the muscles of the mid-back and between the shoulder blades. Perfect. Let's do one more with the right. Good. One more with the left. Beautiful. And bring the hands back under the forehead. Lower everything down. And then just bend the knees and let the feet be a little bit lazy. Let the feet just go to the right. And through the center into the left. Just letting that pelvis and tummy roll across the mat. Softening in the low back if you did feel a little bit of strain there. And then take the hands underneath the shoulders. Press it up gently to come back once again into that shell stretch for child's pose, but you take your time there. Sometimes the hips and the back need to soften to get into this lovely stretch again. Perfect. Nice breath in there. And coming forward, and we're going to come down onto our back on the mat from here. And I'd like you to just have your arms at your sides, feet relaxed, nice and grounded to the mat. Take a breath in to prepare. You're in your neutral spine. And on your out breath, you're going to move into that gentle imprint, drawing the tummy back towards the spine, letting that low spine gently settle down towards the mat, and breathe in to go back to your neutral. And this is important today because we're going to do some work where we're going to hold ourselves in our imprint position. That's not usual for us. We do a lot of our work in neutral. But on your next one, when you move that low spine into imprint, I want you to stay there. Okay? And then I want you to ask yourself, is your rib cage nicely against the mat? Is the chin and the forehead in a nice horizontal line? Because if the chin is poked up higher than the forehead and you can't level them out, you might need to have that little cushion behind your head. Just a little thin, a folded up towel or a very skinny cushion, right? To bring that relaxation to the throat. Holding that low spine back in imprint, take a nice breath in, and I want you to breathe both arms overhead, keeping them shoulder width apart, and I want you to reach back, but don't allow the spine to lift off the mat. So the whole rib cage and low back sort of glued to the mat, and then press the arms back down by your sides. Right? And let's do that again. Nice breath in overhead. So this is about your shoulder mobility, but also control of your rib cage. It's a nice length for the spine. If you're stiff in the shoulders or you have an old shoulder injury, you might find that, one arm can continue to go back, the other is at its limit. And if you tried to go further, you'd have to let that low spine or the low ribs pop off the mat, right? You don't want that space. Good. Let's do 2 more. Nice breath in overhead. Back down. Breath in overhead. Oh, lovely. This time, hands, arms up towards the ceiling. Take a nice breath in and reach those arms wide. So open up directly out from the shoulders. I want you to lower the hands towards the mat, and I want you to stop an inch from the mat or from the floor. I want you to reach the fingertips out in opposite directions to get wide across your chest, and then set the arms on the mat. Exhale to bring it all back towards the ceiling. And do that again. Nice breath in. Open, 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 open across the chest. Reach a little wider before you bring the arms to the floor. Just hover an inch, reach wider, and then put the arms down. Good. Bring everything back in. And open, 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 open across the chest. The whole spine is on the mat. The head and the neck are relaxed. And place the arms on the mat. Good. Exhale, bring it all back in. Good. From here, we're going to do just a little bit of leg and arms while we keep the center nice and still. So bring that pelvis back to neutral. You've got the hip bones, pubic bone, nice horizontal line. On your exhale, bringing that right leg up to tabletop and letting that left arm go overhead. Lower everything down and switch. Good. And we're just going to do a couple repetitions of this, just finishing off, feeling that activation in our deep center, our deep core, feeling the openness in our shoulders, hopefully the length in our spine. Good. Last time. Perfect. Good. From there, lower the arms to your sides, turn the palms up, and straighten out both legs. And there we go. I'm going to leave you here in this lovely Shavasana pose. But there's lots of wisdom in this, in being able to lay flat on your back on the mat. If it's not comfortable, you can modify it. But see if you can get to the point where you can lay with the legs out straight and the low back feels okay. See if you can get both of the shoulder blades to be heavy and a good connection into the mat. See if you can get the upper arm, the forearm, the back of the hand, all nice and heavy with that connection into the mat. And then just take a few nice breaths. And there you go. Hopefully you enjoyed that. I'll see you next time. Have a wonderful day.